Einstein's theory of relativity, one of the pillars of the explanation of the world as we know it today, removed all importance of individuality from all concepts of physics. It made them all relative. Time, previously considered a ruler, a landmark, an absolute, has been relegated to its true condition of relative quantity. How can a discussion about the origin of the universe be considered valid if not even time itself is a concept that can have absolute validity? If it is physically impossible to determine how much time has elapsed since the origin of the universe, since time itself is a totally relative concept and always depends on the observer who measures it to be defined and to exist, the origin of the universe cannot be seen as being an absolute event. If the origin of the universe cannot be seen as an absolute event, it was not the origin and cannot be considered as such. If it is physically impossible for the universe to have an origin, if the universe never had an origin, then it is eternal, repetitive, cyclical, because it is impossible for totally unprecedented physical phenomena to happen in an eternal universe. It is impossible for there to be facts, phenomena, events, or unprecedented physical experiences in a universe that contains the eternity of time. The longer the time interval, the greater the probability that perfect repetitions of physical events will occur. Since the universe is eternal, all events, phenomena, facts, or physical experiences contained in it are also eternal. Everything repeats itself in an infinite number of repetitions. The concept of the individual is a flawed concept lacking logical foundation in a universe of concepts of relative validity only. Physically, it is impossible to actually separate an individual from the universe that surrounds him. Separation, the point where the individual ends to begin what surrounds him, is totally arbitrary, conventional, and does not carry with it any insurmountable physical separation. If the concept of the individual is relative, if individualization is a relative abstraction, no one is an individual unique and finite indeed. Not being in fact physically individual, nothing prevents infinite repetitions or perfect physical copies of individuals who have nothing of individual physically to occur infinitely in the universe. When we try to define the concepts individually, for example, by answering the questions, what is a window? What is a car? What is a tree? We notice that a window, for example, appears to be an object in itself. But a window is only a window if it is part of a building, on a bedroom or living room wall, for example. A glass-filled metal frame abandoned in the trash is just a bunch of metal and glass. The same goes for a car. A car is only a real car when it performs its function as a means of transport, its connection with everything that surrounds it. Standing abandoned in any corner for a long time, a car is nothing more than a pile of iron and plastic. When we see a tree, we do not realize that it is always a process continuous that depends on sun, which depends on the soil, which depends on the place, and what, even though it is apparently still, it is always in constant interaction with the environment that surrounds it. A tree cannot be separated from the rest and remains a tree. Every tree is always a continuous process where it is impossible to determine exactly where the tree begins or ends. It is impossible to separate it from everything that surrounds it, and it remains a tree. Continuity, the impossibility of a definitive physical separation between physical objects and everything else that surrounds them, is another very strong argument in favor of the eternity of the universe and all living beings, processes, events, facts, phenomena, and physical experiences that it contains. When separated from the whole, from the universe that surrounds them, individual physical objects are nothing more than mere partial and flawed concepts. Lame, since mutilated from their connection with everything else able to express their reality in a truly adequate way. In order to understand reality, we cannot actually separate objects from the whole that surrounds them. Thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel and give your like if you enjoy it.